What's going on, Man Cup Live? We back once again, and now the week of the race, man. The Full Throttle Fest coming up this weekend at Worldwide Technology Raceway in Madison, Illinois, and man, I can't wait to get up there. It seems like forever since we've been to a Man Cup event, but we'll be on our way up there right now, coming up here to Madison, Illinois. Can't wait to get the Man Cup there up there live. Gonna be plenty of action. Anybody you all around that area, come on out Friday, early Friday. Come on out early Friday because we're gonna have a full early day of testing, tuning for people who just want to get started, learning how to ride bikes or get involved with the Manufacturers Cup. Good time to come out early, ask a lot of questions, get to meet a lot of people and so forth. Then we're going to go into a round of qualifying that night. We're going to have some grudge. We're going to have a special DJ guest from the local DJ Tab, and one of his DJ guests going to be on the premises that night, Friday night. So y'all make sure y'all come on out. We're going to have some fun under the sun, and then we're going to be jamming up after the lights come on at night. We're going to have some grudge races supposed to be coming out. Got some pro street guys been reaching out to me. Got some pro bagger guys been reaching out to me. So look, I can't guarantee y'all I'm gonna be there, but look here, the ones that's gonna be there running for these championships and these classes, I'm telling you, they're gonna be there. There's gonna be plenty of action, plenty of people bringing their bikes out, just coming out to ride and hang out. Barbecue, we call it the grill and chill. Come check out some of the local manufacturers of motorcycle parts. If you need them for your motorcycle, some of our supporters and suppliers will be out there to support you with some of your questions or your parts need. And look, it should be a great weekend. Miss Nettie, we appreciate you. Jeanette, we want to thank you and Chris up there for making it happen for the Manufacturers Cup and getting us an opportunity to come up to y'all facility up here in St. Louis area. A lot of the races in your area have been won this race. We got it. We're going to bring it to them. But before we get started, I want to give y'all a little something that y'all can be looking forward to when you get up there. So what to expect for the races and spectators. There's an email. I'm going to go ahead and run it out real quick. That's the layout of the racetrack right there. So what they want you to do for the racers and spectators, racers, crews, and spectators, use the 700 Raceway Boulevard entrance and follow the signs around to the billboard gate. Come all the way around to the north drop, and then overnight stacking line begins at the north drop. When line gets to the billboard gate, she says start a second line. So basically, in that area up there, up at the top, if you want to look at in reference to a clock over here about 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you'll see with the north billboard gate, and all the way down at the bottom is the drag strip and so forth. But you can go on the website, Worldwide Technology website, and you'll be able to see this site map. Okay. As far as what to expect for racing and spectators, we will be parking on the pit on Thursday from noon to 9 p.m. There will be a $30 parking fee to do so, plus your normal admission to the Manufacturers Cup. So if you're getting there early on Thursday and you want to just go ahead and set up, it's going to be a $30 fee along with your normal interest to get into the event, plus a $30 parking fee. All right. So and as normal, the Class Tech cards will be provided registration where you can get in touch with us over at the bus to get those. Racers arriving after 9 p.m. will stack overnight. So if you come in after 9 p.m. on Thursday, then you follow instructions that we gave you by coming into the 700 Raceway Boulevard entrance and do your stacking from there. All right. The stacking will start at the north drop, like I said, when the line extends to the billboard gate. Racers making start a new line. The gates will open Friday morning at 8 a.m. Racers in the stacking line should be ready to move into the ticketing process at least 30 minutes before 8 a.m. So at 7:30, you need to be ready to rock and roll so we can get you on in there. We got other people coming in. There will be a 24-hour gate. Only those individuals with proper credentials will be admitted into the pits after hours. So racers, if you're just trying to go run errands and all that stuff, that's not going to be a proper credential for the 24-hour in and out. This is going to be for emergencies and for staff that has to move. Once the gates are closed at a certain time frame, then be prepared to be in there till the next day. Okay. All right. So spectators arriving at AM will be expected to get into the same line as the racers coming into 700 Raceway Boulevard. And spectators will have the option to upgrade to the premium track pit parking, which is available at the track. You'll have to pay additional fee to park in the inside pit behind the track parking area that they have there. That'll be available. And there also will be, if motorcycles ride in, you will have no additional charge to park in the pit if you ride a motorcycle to the track. So, and then that'll be located near the pavilion. General admission parking will also be available. Once the initial rush of the event is over, then the route may change. So just follow the signs, as because they might change a little bit later once we get the crowd, get people in the event. It might not be as much to do at that point. But look here, that's the house rules. And on another note, for racers, participants, spectators, and little bit, I just want y'all to know, I want you all person to understand from me, I want this facility to be respected. I don't want to be dealing with any other crazy situations after the event or during the event. Let's respect the facility. Give us an opportunity to go back to facilities like this. These racetracks, they communicate with each other. So if we're a bad company and a bad crew to work with, it only makes it more difficult for us to find other venues for next year. 2024 schedule has been it's about 80% done. We do have our dates all situated. We're gonna post that coming up soon. We got two to be determined dates, locations. We got the dates, but waiting on some acknowledgments for a couple racetracks, and then we'll go ahead and get that out for you all. But that's all I have to say about the housekeeping for the racetrack. I want y'all to come out, have a good time, be prepared to compete, have fun. This event is probably going to be a little bit cooler per the temperatures, but not comfortably cool, but not freezing cold. But it does seem like we would need to try to expedite the process of getting the event done more into the daytime, and as opposed to anytime really late at night, because I think if we wait till too late at night, it might be too cold. Let's go ahead and bring Big Boss on, man. I gave y'all a mouthful, but at any rate, man, I think I laid down pretty much what's going on, Pinky, man. Had to get a
What's
little
going
housekeeping
on, man?
out man, trying to get a little housekeeping out the way before we get up to the track. You know what I mean?
Right?
And there's one other thing that I didn't mention, that as far as classes, I know a few people said that their classes they weren't able to buy their online tech cards on the folk. If it's a class that's been not well participated throughout the year, we just went ahead and left it off and left our standard classes on there. But you are able to come to the track and purchase a tech card and a ticket to run in the class. And if, like you said, you got some classes that don't fill up or whatever, we'll have a driver's meeting to discuss how we'll deal with that once we get at the track. But right now, that's just pretty much it. But man, Big Boss, look at that was a mouthful, man. Well, look here, we got a hitter on here tonight, man. On to
Yeah,
my
real racer,
real,
real racer,
real racer,
all,
man.
all around racer.
Yes,
Ain't
sir.
nothing
Yes,
else you can
sir.
say.
Ain't no we can
Living
say
that
about that.
racing.
Hey man, the man, I was talking to old Dustin Lee earlier this week, and
Yep.
him and I guess was in the finals of the Division II bracket finals over there at Carolina Dragway. So we're gonna
I
go pay
know
a
it was
few
tight.
bills. That was tight, man. And we're gonna pay a couple bills, and we're gonna give y'all a little sneak peek. We're gonna bring our guests right back on in a few seconds, y'all. Give us a
Yeah,
minute.
yeah.
Yep.
We drive performance. We drive passion. A background in drag racing. And a future in all forms of motorsports. Because success in one sport isn't enough. Pushing ourselves to be the best. Climbing every mountain. Topping every peak. Until you see Fuel Tech everywhere.
All right, all right. We got our special guest, Mr. Santi Rodriguez Jr. up in the house, man. What's going on, champ?
How's it going, Hollywood?
Hey man, look like you done changed locations from earlier. Like you done got in front of the trophy case this time.
No,
Yep.
same
Yep.
place, man. Same place.
Hey man, I guess it's these glasses I had to put on, man. But look here, man. I'm thankful for having you on. I've been listening, man. They said you've been doing some great things here coming up here. I mean, here recently, man. Like, we definitely got to dig into that a little bit tonight, if you don't mind.
Yeah, man. I've truly been blessed this year, man. It's been incredible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But before we take off, I was just looking at that commercial, man. I want to throw a shout out to Natalia and Luis up at Fuel Tech USA for once
Hmm.
again stepping up for us for the World Finals. Fuel Tech is back on board for the World Finals at Valdosta, and they stepping up their sponsorship again for the Manufacturers Cup. Man, thank you guys for your support. And once again, I forgot to mention Swartz Law Group. Hey, we got to tell Ken Swartz, thank you again for this race he's putting on up here, the Full Throttle Fest. Santi, look here, man. I know you tough up in them points and you hunting a championship. Where you sitting right now for that championship in these classes?
Well, right now I'm first in Super Comp, ahead of my teammate Scott DeLong, and in Pro ET I am tied for second. And I think Josie's just running away with it. She's had an incredible season herself. I've already raced her once in the beginning of the year, and it was a tight race. Alabama bit me. The rollout from one lane to the other was a little different, and she put me in the opposite lane. And from one lane to the other, it was about 200th different. And I didn't make an adjustment for that. And the bike ran dead on, but I was 200ths too fast. I had the light, but I broke out and she won. So she's doing really, really good, man. I'm happy for her.
So, I'm gonna spin back a little bit. So formally introduce yourself, like who you are, where you from, what do you do for a living, and how did you get started in drag race? I got you a 4-piece right there. How about that?
All right. Well, my name is Santi Rodriguez, man. I'm originally from Miami, Florida. Started riding motorcycles, got back in the early 80s. First real race bike was probably a little GPZ 550. We just took the shocks off, put some struts on it, messed around with it. Back when I was younger, stupid, did a little bit of street racing, and we used to go race up at Hollywood and stuff. But from the 550, I went up to a 750 KZ and then a 1000. And then from there, it just kind of took off. As far as what I do, I joined the Marine Corps about 2 years out of high school, and then retired from the Corps. Raced while I was in the Corps. Hawaii Raceway was a racetrack that was my first duty station, and met a couple good guys up there. Ray Raines is a good buddy of mine. So, and anyway, raced up there, and then was stationed in California, Division 7. That really got me hot and heavy into drag racing. Raced with Karen Stouffer and Scotty Polachek and all them heavy hitters, Freddie Camarena in Division 7. And believe it or not, I even had a deal struck up to go pro stock racing for Anheuser-Busch. But back in '98, they sold majority stock to AB Belgium. And well, that kind of did it. They got rid of the beer. So that was Kenny's Forever Red Tour. And I still raced for distributorships for 13 years, but nothing on the pro stock level. It was just basic bracket races. I couldn't afford to run pro stock.
Right, right, right. And so, and what year are we talking about when you started your actual campaign and racing got your first bug in this sport? Are you a second generation racer? Or are you a
No,
first
no,
generation?
I'm first generation. Yeah, no, we grew up pretty poor, and I mean, my first dirt bike, my brother and I used to push each other around the yard making dirt bike sounds. I mean, it had no motor in it. But no, I've had the bug since I was probably 5. Started with little mini bikes, and it's just grown faster from there.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. And you are fully retired right now from the
Yeah,
Marines.
I actually had more time to do what I wanted to when I was working than I do now. Because it's funny when you're retired, everybody says call Santi. He can help you. He got nothing better to do. So my plate's pretty full. But I still worked after I got out of the Corps. So I was still pretty young, and I worked for different companies, did different things. Just to stay busy. But no, it's racing has definitely been my passion. So that pretty much entails everything.
And with that passion, I guess, you know that some people want to go quicker, quicker, quicker. It seems like you know what you're capable of doing from a quicker standpoint, but you stay back in a class what was, I mean, I don't know if it's economical, the reason for it being economical, or is it more the reason because it's more challenging, or both?
No, actually, I dabbled in. I had a pro mod bike that we picked up from a good buddy of mine, Steve Sanders, the boys racing team. He passed away, and originally, once the Cowies got limited by size displacement and they weren't really competitive, 460 was the way to go. So we decided to run 460. I ran a couple Man Cup races. I believe 2016 was my last one with the pro mod bike, and it was just so expensive and it took so much time, and I wanted something that I can just have fun and not have to worry about building motors and spending all the money that I did. So at the time I didn't have the sponsor that I have now. They're a real blessing, and so I wanted something more economical that I could race. So I actually sold the pro mod bike to Durwood Rollins and up in Maryland, and Durwood picked it up, and he ran it for a little bit, and I think he sold it. And when I got the money from that bike, I wound up picking this one up. This bike was built by Bill Baxter. Alex Hughes rode it for a while, and I love it. It's perfect for me. It's push button start. I don't need a starter. I still need somebody to chase me because I run a Hayes slider, but for the most part, I mean, this thing is just maintenance free.
How long have you had this bike?
This is going on 3 years. I actually picked up the bike 3 years ago. I ran downdraft carburetors on it for the first year and had issues with just flooding cylinders, hydro locking and stuff. So a good friend of mine, Kevin Cadby, wanted talking me into going EFI. So we went with the Holley EFI. I bought all my stuff through Dan Rudd at MPS, and Kevin did an incredible job. Custom harness. I've got the Holley EFI dash, and I mean the bike's deadly. I think this last race, the first round was a fluke. Got up real early in the morning to go to church service. The church service started at 7:30, and we had to be there to take photos at 8. So it was really dewy, and I just put the carb cover over the throttle bodies just to keep anything from going in it, the water and stuff. And like an idiot, I was such a hurry to get up to the line, we didn't take it off. So when I fired up the bike, of course, it sucked the cover into the throttle blades, and then it hung the throttle. So I killed the ignition, and I already knew it was wrong. So I told him to go ahead and send the guy down the track. I wasn't going to hold him up. It wasn't his fault. So I did the walk of shame, and I bought back in. And after that, I made 5 passes in a row, dead on the dial with a digit. So the bike is there, man. I mean, I just got to do my job.
Man, before we go take a break, I want to ask who is your sponsor, and what kind of products or whatever it is that they do. I mean, because one thing I can say about you make sure you put them out front. You make sure you handle the business at the tech table and everything perfectly, and you keep them in consideration. What's the sponsor name again?
The sponsor's called Fix It Tech. They're a computer repair shop and IT. They do everything from internet security to computer bills. They do phones. They do Cat 5 systems. They're a great group. The company's actually owned by John and Greg Tumanero. And again, man, they have been a blessing. Not only do they provide their support financially, but even like when I had my accident at Gainesville 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, they almost beat the ambulance to the hospital. I mean, that's just the kind of guys they are. They're not they just don't hand you a check and say, here, go show our product off, and then wait for the end of the year. So I try to do everything I can for them because they definitely do everything for me.
On that note, we'll be right back. Santi Rodriguez Jr. Santi Rodriguez back, Junior. We're back. And look at, man, you got some pictures up here, man. You got to tell me what we're looking at. Tell these fans what we got going on over here, Santi.
All right, the one that's up right now, that's Division Two finals. Again, man, I was just blessed. Uh, all the competitors. I mean, like I was telling you earlier, from John Markham hit me with a trip zip 1 thou package. Dalton, I mean Dustin, all them guys up there, man, they're all heavy hitters. My crew, Gerald, that went with me, he couldn't believe the amount of trip zips, double O's, and just packages that were being dealt out left and right. And I ran Dustin in the final, and I hadn't run the right lane all day, and it was a coin toss. He won it, and he threw me in the right lane, and I said, "All right, well, let's get up and go do this." And it was crazy. Right before I got ready to go the previous round, I'd had a 005 and I'd run dead on. And I said, all right, well, as long as I don't give it away at the starting line, it should be a good tight race. And man, I got up there and it was the same thing. His 003 to my 004. We were just both judging the stripe. It was him one over, me one over, and I took the stripe by 6 thou. I basically looked up, man, and saw the wind light. That's how close it was. And that's probably the cleanest, the best final that I've had. No games. We both went in there. We both lined up, man, and we just did our thing.
Right, right.
So
And
this is Division Two winner circle.
so with the Division Two winner circle, now you actually go. Is it Vegas or Pomona now? Vegas.
No, we're in Vegas. I'm basically coming up to your race in Madison, and then leaving straight from there to make it up to Las Vegas. So yeah, we're gonna have to boogie, but we'll be there, man.
So how many? So it's 8 divisions. That's correct. 8 divisions, right?
Seven. There's seven, but
Seven.
Division Two, yeah, Division Two actually got to take an extra racer up there. So I can't remember the gentleman's name. I think he's from Carolina Dragway. Not sure, but he won the Race of Champions earlier in the event, so he got a ticket to go to Pomona. I'm sorry, to Vegas to fight for the
Right.
championship. So there's basically two of us from Division Two going up against the other divisions that'll be represented.
Man, that's pretty awesome. I mean, that's a full paid ticket over there for the 8 motorcycles that go, correct?
They do give you funds to
Per
help you
diem.
get up there. Yeah,
Uh
but
huh.
just in fuel. I figured out with a new to me motorhome I got, it's going to be about $2,400 in fuel round trip.
Wow, let me think. Yeah, I mean, we made the trip. I can't remember. I guess you try to stop thinking about that stuff as you're going because you do be you have to stop quite a bit to get fuel. It gets more expensive sometimes when you're going west too. So earlier there was also a picture, and I was confused when you sent me the pictures. And then there's another picture where we got a track championship there.
Yes, before the divisions, I won the track championship at Gainesville Raceway, which is my home track now. I've been there for probably about 5 years now. Before that, I was up in Bradenton, and I tell you what, you want to talk about heavy hitters and sharks? I raced there for 6 years. I had a sponsor that was down there, so he had me go down there to race, and I tell you what, it definitely made me a better racer because. You got the goat down there, man. You got Roy Hagedorn. And I remember running him 008 light, dead on, second off the line, you lose. And I was like, all right, man, that was luck. I'm going to buy back in. And I bought back in and I drew Candy Hagedorn. I had a 003 light and ran pretty much dead on. Guess what? Trip zip, she was dead on with a digit. I was like, hey. So it made me a better racer. And even at my home track, Gainesville, it's smaller ponds. We don't have that many racers like Bradenton, but still, it's full of sharks, man. You got Scott DeLong down there, multi-time track champion. We had Tim Hunt, multi-time champion. We got Dwayne Leachman, which is my good buddy and teammate. He won the championship year before last when I was in a points battle with him when I had my accident at Gainesville Raceway. And so, I mean, racing the best only makes you better.
That's right. So this is the accident you keep referring to. This is you laying on the near the bleachers.
Yeah, what happened was, like most tracks, you try to do your roundy round to get the event in. and didn't have as much time as usual. So again, we run the open air stacks downdrafts on the 14s, and a rock had actually bounced off the asphalt, off the slick, I'm guessing, and it wound up in the number 3 intake. So I have a slider. I fire up my bike, and I usually ride it up to the starting line. Well, at Gainesville, you make a sharp right-hand turn from the staging lanes. As soon as I
Right.
fired up the bike and I went to go up, I was running Dwayne Leachman, as a matter of fact. I put the bike in gear, and as I started to go up, I felt the throttle hang. 30 years of racing with electrons, man, just force of habit. I whacked the throttle thinking I could clear it. And that was it. That rock wedged that throttle blade open, and I took off like a dead launch. And I wound up going through there was a plastic fence that was there. And then it was either hit the winner circle brick wall, hit a tree, or there was a parked car there that actually belonged to Mike Poole, one of the track guys. And in my mind, I said, split the tree and the car, wind up in the middle of the field, and you can save the bike. Well, it didn't happen. Man, I smashed into that tree, thank God. I didn't hit a square. And the next thing you know, I did 2 flips in the air. And when I landed, I was halfway between the track and the bleachers, and I broke my tibia and fibula. So basically, my leg was like a Z. And I was calm when it happened, which is crazy. But I tell you what, man, when they set it at the hospital, and then when they did the surgery, that was 10 months of, I didn't think I was ever going to race again. That's why coming back, this truly blessed. I give God all the glory. This has been an amazing comeback.
Yeah, I mean, for you to even, a lot of people would give it up. Is that the same motorcycle? Was that the motorcycle that
Oh,
had the
yeah.
issue?
Yep. I tell you what, man, we had a bunch of guys that were like, man, you need to get rid of that bike. It'll never be the same again. And I have another really good friend, Dan Newman at Dan Newman's Race Cars. He's a chassis guy. He's a car guy. And everybody gave me flack. You're taking your bike to a car guy. But Dan's one of the best. And I tell you what, the guy's made 3-second pro mods. So I trust him with my life. I've known him for 25 years. And he took the bike, rebuilt the frame. We bought some parts from Grothis, new front rim, carbon fiber, and then Dan and I got together and we really lightened up the bike to make it better. The bike's just over 400 pounds after a run, and the bike's 60 foot in the low 120s. I've been high teens, so the bike flies. The top end's not really there. It's only a Gen 1 1355, but
Hmm.
even with me, and I'm 225, the bike scoots in the first half. So it's a good bike, man. We put it back together better than ever, and I couldn't be happier, man. The bike is just, it's badass.
And so it's kind of weird because you kind of consider that a off-track incident to a certain degree, but a track incident the same way. You know what I mean? So like a lot of people, they say it's kind of tough getting back on the horse after a situation like that. Did you find any complexities with getting back on that horse yourself?
No, my wife made me promise I'd take it easy. So instead of riding the bike to the water box, I pushed it up to the water box, and that was my taking easy part. And I went up there, man, and my first pass down the track wound up being a personal best eighth ET quarter and mile an hour. Again, we made it over 20 pounds lighter. Plus, I dropped a little weight. So no, it's I've been doing this way too long, man. And I cleared minefields in the military, so this don't scare me, man.
We'll be right back with the Santi Rodriguez Jr. Man, that's a great story. We'll be right back.
Thanks.
We back, man. Cup Live. Big Boss, man. He done told us a heck of a story back there, man. What you think there, boss?
Yeah, yeah. He a legend, man. You know that. That's all he do is race. He ready for
That's
this
right.
week though. I bet he already loaded up, ready to go.
Oh, I'm loaded up and ready to go.
I know it. I know it.
I'll be there
Well, look
early.
at well, look
Yeah,
here,
my
man. I
daughter
can't
gonna be
wait.
down there.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
my daughter coming. My daughter coming down there. She gonna race this weekend. So
Nice.
I want to see that.
Nice.
Hey man, y'all should have a pretty good feel up there. I heard those Clemmy. I already got some pre-entries from Tom and Joe Clemmy. I already pre-entered up there. They coming up there for some of that Pro ET money. Santi.
Yeah, they're good, man. I mean, listen, the best of the best come out there for the money, and I mean, I don't do it for the money because Lord knows, I've again, this is a blessed year, but I've never considered myself a heavy hitter for money. I mean, I do it to win. I don't go out there to lose. But again, man, there's some sharks out there. So I go out there, man. I'm going to line up just like anybody else, and we're going to let go of the button, and we're going to judge a stripe, and may the best man or woman win.
Hey, right now we got the woman in the front in this Pro ET. She sure had put a handcuff on Pro ET this year. Well, that's Josie's been
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
on point. Well,
Joseph
I tell you
Brooks.
that.
Yeah.
But look here, I tell y'all what, man. Look, I know one thing I wanted to ask you before we got out of here. You know, a lot of people, are wanting to get into sport. You know, they look at it from the outside looking in. It's exciting to them, but not really understanding that motorcycle drag racing has a very good entry point. You know, a very good entry into motorcycle race or to drag racing, period, because their test and tune sessions, their ET sessions for street ET. What is there something that you would like, you know, to tell maybe a young person maybe interested in the sport overall? How about that?
I mean, listen, you don't have to get the fastest bike out there in the world. At our home track in Gainesville, we had Susan. She had a little 250. I mean, I had to race her one day. I was the first guy to race her when she brought that little bike out. It was Tim's old bike, I believe, and her dial was like a 24-second dial. And you want to talk about sitting there in the starting line forever. But she has fun. I mean, and it's basically a bike that you can ride to the track, a few dollars worth of gas, nothing spent on it, and you can have just as much fun, man. All the years that I've been racing, and again, I dabbled in pro stock, a little bit of pro mod, 460. Love going fast, but this is so much fun. I mean, it's like you don't have to worry about blowing motors up and repairing motors and maxing out credit cards. I mean, just show up at the race. I mean, I started on a little street bike. I didn't start off on a big bike. Just go out there, have fun, show up, and most of all, man, support the promoters and support the tracks. Um, like I told you before, man, my if I could change one thing, it'd be like it was in the past. More racetracks, which unfortunately are being shut down every day, and promoters that wanted to promote the sport. Thank you for everything you do. I mean, it seems like the series are getting smaller and smaller, and then great events like you hold and other promoters hold, nobody's showing up, which it's mind-boggling. The weather is perfect. The weather is great at most of your races, and we got good payouts, great tracks, but nobody shows up, man. It's mind-boggling. You go to a test and tune during the week, there'll be 40 or 50 bikes there. You're like, hey, come out to the race, and then man, just crickets. Nobody shows.
And that's kind of what we were thinking. Like, add a little bit more of the test and tune atmosphere to the event so that people can still get that off, and then do it before the event so that they feel lucky or feel like they really got that thing figured out. They have an opportunity to get in there and size themselves up against competition. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
wear the safety gear. Just make sure you got the boots, gloves, helmets, long sleeves, long pants, and things that are necessary. If you don't know what the rules are, you always go to www.racemancup.com and go to rules, general regulations, figure out what is required, come out, have some fun. These tracks, they would love to get to know you all. Great people at the racetrack. You get to know some more people in your communities from there and so forth. But like I said, this is good to have you on just before one of the pivotal events that's coming up. This is a big event going into Gainesville. I mean, things can get turned around right here in Gateway at Worldwide Technology. I mean, points are close. A lot of people are
Yeah.
really close here. I mean, and all the classes they're really close. So, this is a very good race to, set the stage for the World Finals coming up in November the 17th through the 19th down in Adel.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be a great event. Georgia is one of my favorite tracks. It'll be a little cold, but still, usually the finals, man, that's the biggest race of the year. We get the most bikes turn up, and it's kind of like a kickstart for next year. But for us, it's awesome. So yeah, there's only 2 races left, and it's definitely you can't slack off right now because so many great racers that are right there with me. Again, Scott, my teammate, he's right behind me. And from then on, there's only a few more points to 3rd and 4th. So no slacking up, man. No slacking up.
Well, man, look here, man. We appreciate you, Big Boss. You got anything you want to ask them before we get out of here, man?
I'll see him this weekend. You know that. I
Yes,
already know
sir.
he's going to be there.
Yep,
That's
I told
right.
you I'll
Well,
make
look,
every race as points.
that's right, man. Well, look here. Our man Cup Live, we appreciate y'all again. We got our man Santi Rodriguez Jr. on here. Heck of a racer here. We can't look forward to coming and seeing him. He's gonna be live at the Full Throttle Fest. Y'all run by his trailer. Check him out. Get some information about his sponsor just in case y'all need some work on your technical stuff. He can help you out there too. But man, Cup Live, we'll talk to y'all this weekend. We're gonna be live Friday night, I think. And I know we'll be live Saturday throughout the event from beginning to end. We'll have a little more commentary in there, get y'all up to speed about what's going on. But until next time, we'll see y'all after the event next Tuesday for Man Cup Live. And for y'all who going to catch the event this weekend, it's going to be live on HollywoodDragRacing.com. HollywoodDragRacing.com. The live stream will be there. There's no charge for it or anything. So don't go buying and go paying for them scammers to get your information. It's free on HollywoodDragRacing.com. Man Cup Live. We'll see y'all next Tuesday. Peace. Love y'all.
Thanks for having me, man.
Jack.